Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. 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 It's emotional. Welcome. 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 This. This is Leslie Neely. Hey guys. Hey. And this is In Session with Creative Conversations. And tonight my guest is here and we are ready to go. I'm excited. So it's very warm in here in Baltimore today. So I have my air conditioner on and it's pretty close to me. Can you all still hear me? Or is the air impeding what you can hear? Let me know real quick. Tiana, I see you. All right. Goody, goody, goody. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, and this should work today. Let's pray it works today. I think it's working.
How are you?
I'm great. It's so good to see your face.
You too, you too. Like for real, not in a picture.
I know, like, right? Oh my gosh.
It's good to see you.
Yeah. So, guys, look, this is my girlfriend, my friend, my sister girl,
Uh-huh.
Tiana Mann.
Come on with it.
All right. Esquire. Excuse me.
I'm grateful.
Let it
My
be.
breath gets taken away every time I hear it, just a little
Let it
bit.
be known. I remember being around you when you were on your journey through law school and everything, and you pushed like.
Thank you. It was a struggle. We don't even have to call it a cute journey. It was a struggle. It was a very ugly struggle.
But you were relentless. Like,
Thank you.
you made it seem effortless. I know it wasn't
Um,
because we talked.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I knew it was like,
It was
ugh.
rough. And to put it in perspective, you saw me. It was a years long process. I took that exam 5 times. I took it 5 times.
5 times.
Yes. And so there are people who have taken the exam more than that. And that's fine. But I'm glad that five was it for me. And it was it was very difficult. I was really ready to be done. And
And you had to
honestly, I was
pay 5 times
yes.
that.
Yes, yes. And it affects a lot of things. Like, when you don't in that area, when I didn't succeed in that, it affected what I could earn as income if I wanted to be in the industry and things like that. So,
Wow.
and I'll be honest with you, I don't think I did it because I had this amazing burning desire and I gotta be there. I
Hmm.
was on my last straw. I was like, I'm gonna try this one more time because it won't leave my head, even though I think it had left my heart. I was like, I'm over it. This is
Right.
decent. So I'm grateful,
We
but
have a comment that says 5 for grace.
that's true. And I needed it because I didn't want to get to six, whatever six means.
Right. So
Yeah.
as you all can see, like, these conversations are conversations that I would just have with people on the side. Like, these would not be televised normally. So what I'm going to try to do, I heard myself say normally, kind of like Bishop Ralph does. That's weird. That is so
It's in you.
because
It's
every
in you.
time every time he says it, I be like, why you say it like that?
And
But
here you are saying it.
I just heard myself say normally because he be
It
like
happens.
normally.
It stuff rubs off.
That's bad at work. But these conversations, so we're gonna try to stay centered. I like going left.
I'm all in the left. So yeah. Okay.
Yes.
We'll try.
So I entitled this conversation Ideas and Concepts. And the reason why I did that is because there's not one time that I've ever been in Tiana's presence where there has not been a one I could say one word and Tiana will have a whole vision
Oh, wow.
and just roll it out for me. Like, I remember sitting in a car, because we always have these car conversations that last like 2 hours, right?
My car is my living room. Many people have been my company in my car. I might just need to move there and save rent, but yeah, because rent is overrated.
It's completely overrated, okay? And I remember saying to her, I was at University of Baltimore, and I said something about having a class where I was the only singer, and I was interested in, developing curriculum or classes for I Breathe Melody.
Hmm.
By the time the next 5 minutes passed, Tiana had me with a whole curriculum on a college level
Yeah.
to be implemented in a university somewhere and it be accredited and you get credit for singing background. Like,
Get your papers.
you see, so she's this idea person, it never fails. Every time I'm in your presence, Tiana, you give me a life list of stuff that I could possibly do.
I'm grateful for that. Thank
So,
you for acknowledging that, and I'm happy to do it.
yeah, so I just wanted to share my people with my people.
I get it. I
I
get it.
consider you to be one of my people. So you're actually in entertainment law?
Yes, that's a part of what I do. I have a couple of jobs actually. So I am an attorney, and my goal is to help entrepreneurs, organizational leaders, creatives to get, first of all, very clear on their vision, and then to help them protect their vision.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be entertainment law. That could be just business law. There are a lot of different concepts in different areas of the law that really are from the same body of
Okay.
law. We can stop right here and say, if you're a creative, you are doing business. So even if someone doesn't say that they're an entertainment lawyer, they may know certain things about business where they can help you. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
people get to choose kind of what they call themselves.
Right. Let me give
Um,
this disclaimer really quick.
sure.
All the nuggets that Tiana drops in this live are property of I Breathe Melody, and I will likely be putting them on a T-shirt. So you can't use them. Now, if she wants to use them, we can work out the paperwork to make that
Mm-hmm.
happen. But I'm telling you, nobody on here steal these nuggets and make a T-shirt. If I see it, we're gonna have a problem.
We
All
can
right.
pursue it.
So what's the see? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we're gonna have a problem, and she says we can pursue it. It's a different way of saying things.
It's the same thing, though. It's the same result.
But I like it better. I like it better because saying it differently gets you in different rooms.
Hmm. Absolutely, and you have to read your room. I had to say that to a coworker, and I don't think they got it. They were making a chicken statement, literally a Popeye's chicken statement, and I was like, "Read your room." I was the room, but you got to know whose company you're in.
This is
So
what I'm saying.
read your
Wait a
room.
minute. That's a whole situation right there. Read your room.
Read your
Okay.
room.
Oh
Read
my
your room.
gosh. Okay.
So,
All right. So your second job, what is that?
yes, so I work in the IT arena. I'm what's called a business analyst, and basically I convey customer desires and requirements to a development team. It is a job I never studied for. I do not have a tech background. I kind of landed in it, and that's where I am. But overall, in life, I'm always discussing, or I'm the person in between what somebody wants and where they are, whether it's in law or in technology or just consulting with clients who don't want legal help. They just kind of want project management and how do I get from A to B. I'm the person that's having the conversations between what's in your head and what's in front of you.
So, okay, we uh, these starts and stops. Jesus, you're making me think. So that right there, how do you identify, or how did you identify that that's who you are? Like, you're one of the people who helped me understand that I'm what you would call a pivot person.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Um,
how did
I
you
had
get to
to
that?
it was a lot of rehearsal and a lot of denial. I had to recognize that I was having trouble finding myself in industries because there is no me in the industry. And I had to be okay with being unnamed until I could
Yes.
figure out who I was.
And most of us are not. I think sometimes we
Mm-hmm.
do things because we see what somebody else is doing.
Right.
We feel that we can do it, and we may be able to do it, but then you go do it, and you don't have nowhere near the visible success
Right.
that that person has because you're out of place. I have to admit, the box that I have been in for 30 years, I just realized I had no business being in a box at all. I
Yeah.
was around nothing that fit me. Like
Mhm.
nothing.
Yeah. And you have to be, I won't say willing, but when you get to the space where you're by yourself and you're like, oh, shoot, I don't have a name, I don't have a box, you have to stay in there. You know, it's not, I don't have some beautiful journey of, oh my gosh, somebody said this to me and that's it, you know, or someone gave me a word or an encouragement.
Hmm.
Anybody that's spoken to my life or said, hey, this is what I see in you, they've never had the whole picture. And
Right.
I'm grateful for that because that meant I couldn't depend on what somebody else said. I had to live my life and figure it out.
Right.
I think if you're having trouble figuring out what or who you are, first of all, you have to not be so dependent on an industry standard. If you are the mix of something, there usually isn't a name for a mix until it is mixed and consumed. And you
Right.
look at the response and it's like, oh, okay, that's what
Right.
this is.
Right.
So, like, I'm a bridge, I'm a hybrid. Everything that
Wow.
mixes is
Y'all don't take these
something that
nuggets. Don't take them. Come on.
I'm a natural hybrid. I am literally left and right brain. When I take
Wow.
tests, like those little exams to find out what your personality, well, maybe not personality, but you know, like your giftings or your abilities, I'm down the middle. And it can be
Wow.
frustrating when people are like, raise your hand if you're A or B. But you learn to kind of sit in the silence of, I'm AB. Where we going to lunch? I mean, it is what it is.
And
So,
that always made me feel like the oddball out. I mean, always. I never felt that I fit or I
why would you?
belonged.
I think we've cultured fitting in. We've given it too much value.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I understand the desire for connection. Let me be
Mhm.
very clear. I'm not
Mhm.
saying that if you are, you know, odd or weird or whatever name you want to call it, that you don't need connection. But I don't have to be just like anybody else. And let me be very clear. I have to remind myself of this daily. This isn't something that you just have a revelation and it's over. I think it's very easy to slip into what everybody else is doing. It's
Yeah.
incredibly easy. I mean, everybody's business model is on Instagram. You could copy 7 people
Yeah.
and get the same thing, but it's still missing you. So
Yeah.
even with success, you could be in the wrong lane. That's the thing.
Right. Yeah.
So I think I just had to learn how, like, I've been the black girl in white spaces. I've been the woman in male spaces. I've
Mhm.
been the Christian in atheist spaces. You know, like, once you look at your life and you're like, I don't ever fit in. Maybe I shouldn't pursue it anymore. Maybe
That was
that's not
my
the goal.
epiphany. Yeah.
Maybe the goal is to be. And
Yeah.
whoever needs whatever it is that I have,
Yeah.
then that's an encouragement. So like what you told me, for instance, that's an encouragement for me that being different is actually valuable and that there's a reason for me sticking to this odd lane. Recruiters don't know where to place me. They're like, so you're an attorney, but a tech, but you're creative and you don't want to be where you are. I'm like, yeah, Glenda, how we gonna do this?
Yeah. I try to tell that to singers that I come in contact with are who can't seem to find
Hmm.
uh or be able to gauge success based on other people. Like there's some artists
Hmm.
that I've sang with and for who have counterparts
Yeah.
who have had stratospheric success to visibly success, but they have a catalog
Yeah.
of music that, as far back as the beginning, still has impact. People crave it, they
Hmm.
want it, but the machine of the industry
Right.
just did not know what to do with them.
Hmm.
Like, just
Yeah.
because you don't fit the formula that works for this. You don't
Right.
fit the formula that works for this. You're too churchy. You're not churchy enough. You this, you that. Like,
Yeah. But one thing I think to also consider is timing. Because timing, just like a good run or riff, timing and placement are very important. So you might be who you are now, but your time is 20 years from now.
wow.
You cannot
Yeah.
stop being processed
Yeah.
because you're not applicable right now.
Right.
Literally,
Right.
your time is coming, but
Right.
you still have to be developed. And
Yeah.
so I tell people, I think, and I know this isn't like a church thing, but this is just, I'm just going ahead and talk about God real quick, and then we're going to come up off of it. Just tap it real quick. I feel like God works on the Tupperware principle, where the things that we need later, he stores up for us before.
My God.
And we don't
Okay.
see it that way because we're consumed in the making. We're
Right.
consumed in the process of being cooked down and pounded down and made into whatever, not recognizing that we are literally being put into this plastic tub, into the freezer for later. And when it's time, miraculously, like time and heat come together and you're ready when it's time. So I think that time is super important. Like, maybe you're not supposed to be cool right now. You're supposed to be whack. Because in 5 years, you're not going to be whack.
For all the whack people, you're supposed to be whack.
Keep holding on.
Right now. Just hold on.
But in all seriousness, like, Prince was not an artist of his time.
Yeah.
On the gospel side, there are plenty of artists who were not artists of their time. But later, it was like, wow, everybody wants you. And when I say everybody, I don't mean everybody's church. I mean,
Right.
on down. Like, that's the kind of success I want, where it doesn't matter, where my Christian tag doesn't prevent you
Right.
from interacting with me. Like, we're in a world where Work It Out is a theme song for Google.
For Google. That's the world we live.
Every time I see it, I'm like, but do they know?
Do they know? Do they really know?
Do they know? Like, this is polyester choir robes and jerry curls.
And the lead singer made choir robes. Like,
so,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say wait it out because that's not encouraging, but timing is important. And there's a place and time for you. If you are alive, there's a place and time for you.
Yeah.
And it's coming. But trying to be everybody else, I recognize for me that fitting in it didn't feel good. I felt like I was betraying myself.
Yeah, because it's not real. It's not real. Like, I cannot fake a smile to save my life. If something is bad, okay, like, what do you want me to do with that? And I get labeled petty, and I'll take it, make a T-shirt of it,
right.
Whatever. But I'm honest. Like, right. I'm not gonna say this is great if it's not. Now, right. what I had to do personally was learn to try to attach a solution to my criticism. Mm-hmm. Because I had so much criticism. I'm like, okay, why do I even have a feeling about this? Like, right. Why did I see that and formulate an opinion?
Right.
Like, why? So
and that's an issue of temperature. You're still who you are, but am I ice or am I, hot tea?
Right.
You can still be who you are. You're liquid.
Yeah, yeah. And in my heart, my heart, I want to help. Mm-hmm. So why not attach this observation to help and use it wisely? And right. Then I had to say, because I went from being a person who didn't say anything at all, mm-hmm. Then I went to saying whatever I felt like saying.
Right.
And that did not fare me too well. So I had to find some balance in there and some temperance. And what I had to say to myself is, if I cannot say it in love, I won't say it. So I had to set that rule for myself. So that rule, that core value, whatever you want to call it, says, Leslie, when you have that thought, how can you help them do different? How can you help them do better? How can you, change that situation? Or if you can't help, leave it alone.
Right.
Walk on
and
back.
I think that's really important. Here's the thing, as you were talking, what kind of came to me is that it's okay to have to learn how to be yourself.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we're just like, this is who I am. Okay, but you're rough and you're mean and you're nasty. And no
Nobody
one is
likes
going to receive
you.
that from you. Like, you wouldn't want you to talk to you like that. Go sit down somewhere, get healed, and come back.
I
Like, you know.
had I had a younger singer who was extremely popular and just doing amazing things right now. We were in the Bahamas with three artists, and we had like a day off. And something was going on with me and another colleague, and I was like, I don't understand why they said this or why they said that. They was like, well, you know, Lance, can I be honest with you? Nobody gets to this part of you because of what they meet when they first meet you. He was
Yeah.
like, some people don't get to enjoy the you on this side that I know
Wow. Yeah.
because that you over there is so deflective, like
Mm-hmm.
it's not approachable. And he said it to me in love, and
Yeah.
I did cry about it a little bit, but I was
And
like,
that's okay.
wow, like because I did not realize that that's what I was. I because I don't ever mean to offend anyone,
Right.
don't ever. But having someone speak that truth to me or making me aware of that truth
Right.
literally changed the direction of where I was headed. Because
Right.
what I was trying to do, that attitude was not going to work.
Not working. And
No.
the thing is, you said in love, and that's so important. I
Yeah.
think people can tell when you're not coming to them in love or when you coming to them on some other stuff,
Yeah.
even if they can't articulate it. And so
Right.
that authenticity, even if you have to wait, because if you genuinely want what's good for the person, you will wait until, not until they're ready, but until they're available.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and that's super important. I mean, when I want someone to not even to hear me, but when I'm like, I need to get something to you and it's important for you, I'm talking slower. I'm gonna walk up to it, not run right into it, because it's not about me. I don't have to
Right.
prove that I'm anything.
Right.
At the end of the day, this is on my heart and I want you to be better. This is something that I observed. May I share this with you? And
Right.
I've started asking people if they mind me sharing something with them, because some days it's like, listen, I don't want any metaphors, I don't want any analogies. If you could just not, and we move on. You know, that's not the day. It's okay again to read your room. Read your
Yes.
room.
Yes. I said to one of my mentees, we were just talking one day, and he caught me on the day where I had been in the house all day in reflective mode. So I was
Yeah,
wide open. Like
yeah.
any word he said would trigger a thought.
Of course. Yeah.
And we talked so much that he said something, and he said, but we're not going to unpack that today.
Keep it tied up.
Yeah, like because you're gonna slay me. I'm in the store. I'm not gonna be able to handle it
Right.
if you unpack that. So let's table that for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You
wow,
don't always have the
wow,
bandwidth, and that's okay.
it is okay.
Yeah, like I gotta give office hours for some emotional things. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not available
I take
from
days off.
5 to 9 every other Thursday. I'm just
My
gonna
day
be
off.
tonight.
My day off this week was Monday. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what it was about Monday, but Monday was an extremely emotional day. I stayed angry all day Monday. Not really sure what that was about. Probably all that stuff on social media kind of just got to me,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah,
And then because I research and I view the opinions of other cultures and stuff like
mm-hmm.
that to hear how they're talking about what we're doing and,
Yeah.
you know, how they feel about the protest and taking that all in. And then I tried to go on Amazon and watch the Brown Sugar channel with all these black movies on there, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched one too many, and I
I
was
was
just
gonna
like,
say, was it too much?
dang, it was too much. I had to go find like the hangover to like get over it,
Right.
which also let me know that there's a whole lot of European culture in me somewhere. Like I ingest a lot of that
Yeah,
because
that's the default here in
because
this country.
why would my blackness watching these movies be bothered by like it? I
Mhm.
got so confused. I turned off everything. I didn't answer no phones, no
Right.
nothing. I was just like,
Right.
God help me as I slumber. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. And I went to bed because it was just
Right.
too much.
And I think sometimes as creatives, we can assume. I feel like I find creatives that feel that because they're creative, they have to consistently consume stuff. And I don't know if it's this thirst to be ahead or to always be on top of it,
Yeah.
but you will drive yourself crazy consistently ingesting. Like if you continue to eat food and never let it digest,
Right.
your mouth is going to hurt, your stomach is going to hurt, your
Yeah.
esophagus is going to be outstretched. There are going to be all of these negatives,
Right.
but you'll be full.
Right.
So
Completely.
you have to turn your brain off, because even when we're not intentionally thinking, it's still working. Like
Yeah.
it's a sponge with chemicals in it. It's always reacting to something. It reacts to light. It reacts to everything. So
Right.
you do have to give yourself days off.
Yeah.
And I feel like your creativity comes out better after you turn off. Just like a car, you can't run it all night.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
better.
I used to feel defeated when I was not in a creative space.
Mm-hmm.
And I would see so many other people doing so many other things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
well, they ain't calling me, and I could do this, and blah, but I just didn't feel like it. Or if I print down, like I created lined paper for myself
I
with different
understand projects
with
like that. I
with
do.
topics across the top. Like whatever I'm feeling today, this is what this is, and
Uh-huh.
I'll print it and actually write because I like writing.
But why don't you
And
make that into a journal? Those are writing prompts, and that's a
see, this
product.
is what I'm talking about right here. This right here. This
I mean,
idea.
listen, that
This
sounds
right
like you've
here.
already created a product.
It really does, Tiana.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
All you need is like 30 prompts, 3 pages each. That's 90 something pages.
I have all 30, like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
But yeah, but like stuff like I would feel so defeated,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had to learn how to just shut it off
Yeah.
and just be not really numb, but just kind of just meditate
Mm-hmm.
mentally.
Yeah. And the
It,
thing is this, you're not, I think the word creative is so powerful, but we have to reculture it, because you're not only creative. That's the baseline. And then you're able to
yeah,
create in different ways.
right.
Anytime a person, I believe all humans are creative. So anytime you can translate something that's intangible into an experience or something you can touch, that's creating. It doesn't matter
Hmm.
if it's a brick and mortar store or a
Right.
piece of writing or a song.
Hmm.
Um, so to not be in a creative space, when are you not in a creative space? But you felt that way because you thought that creativity only looked a certain way.
Right. I thought it had to be movement. I thought
Right,
it had to be production, like
right,
tangible production, where rest is a part of my creativity as well. It's necessary. And
right.
then once I learned how to rest, when something hit me, it
Mm-hmm.
could be 3 in the morning and I would wake up like, whoo,
Right,
here, let's go. And just do it. I've created flyers at
right.
3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I've come up with whole concepts at 3 in the morning. Like whatever it hits
Yeah.
me, just do it. And then when it kind of dissipates, I've also had to learn how to come off of the high
Yeah.
of a production series
Right.
and just slowly
Mm-hmm.
come down. Because before I used to just
Right. Just
crash
crash. Yeah.
and literally would be depressed after a project's over.
Right.
And I never understood that that's what that was. Like,
Yeah.
we
It's very,
really
I
go
mean,
through some stuff.
creativity involves everything that you are, even if you don't feel like it does. And
Hmm.
so you could be still, but your mind is going. And that's really like exercise. It's like your mind is doing, I don't know,
Well, my
doing a
mind
body
needs to
workout.
talk to my thighs.
If they could just get an
If
agreement.
they could just get an agreement so we can
Listen,
all move at the same time. Let me
I
pause.
saw, yeah.
Let me pause for 1 second.
Okay.
I want to tell you guys about this shirt that I'm wearing. This T-shirt that I'm wearing. It is the Urban Hippie. I'm not sure if you can see all of it. This is the Urban Hippie brand by I am Kenneth Jamal. Everybody go follow him on Instagram. I am Kenneth Jamal. He is one of my mentees, one of my close friends, and he's launched his brand Urban Hippie. It's relative to lifestyle. Let me see if I can get exactly the verbiage. I was supposed to look for this earlier and I didn't
You
because
better
I was.
commercial, Leslie. Come on.
Oh yeah,
This is an
we
ad. I
we gotta
appreciate it.
We gotta talk about this. Last week I had on Christ Over COVID, which was a T-shirt designed by Synergy Baltimore, who is a tremendous outreach organization for. I think I told you about them. Outreach
I think you did.
organization here in Baltimore that services the homeless and disenfranchised people. Let me see.
That's awesome.
He's supposed. Why he didn't say what the urban hippie is here? And I gotta go to the bonfire page to figure it out. But anyway, oh, embrace the cool and the chaotic.
See, hybrid.
Yep. Embrace the cool and the chaotic, but it's an umbrella for a brand that includes style,
Mhm.
fashion, music,
That's good.
all types of things. So
That's
check them
awesome.
out. And I think it's dope. This is cute.
I feel
And
like I've been on their page before because it does look familiar.
yep,
That design. So I'm
he
gonna
has
have to go through it.
t-shirts, hoodies, whatever Bonfire has, he has them. So go check them out. Support
Yes,
the
I definitely.
urban hippie. Okay.
I
All right.
love it.
So let's get back to what we talking about because we got 28 minutes and we gonna rock and roll because I know your time is valuable.
28, only 28 minutes left?
We can go longer if we want.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm cool. Listen,
Okay.
take it to the limits. Let's go. Why Instagram is free because we don't know how long this is gonna be. So let's
Exactly.
go.
Okay. So, where do we leave off? Let's.
Creativity coming off the
Okay.
high, the crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really. I realized that when I spent months working on the Potter's House Denver project. I would
hmm
fly to Denver for the weekend. I did that for like 3 months,
Yeah.
and then that September we went for the whole week and
hmm
did the recording. And I think a couple weeks later, we assembled like 30 singers from this area to go in the studio and do the overdubs. It was great. And when that was over, I was like,
What do I do?
I
hmm
don't have anything else to do. I
Right.
actually had plenty to do,
hmm
but because I think I was going to go on tour that year, maybe. I don't know. But
Okay.
whatever. It was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, and I
Yeah.
talked to my mentor at the time, and he was like, well, you should always have something in the queue,
hmm
something going to
Yeah.
keep you motivated and keep you moving because the, your depression is going to come when you're not doing anything, especially when you're not doing what you love.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
that's exactly how things happen.
that
And
wasn't supposed to happen. What did I do?
you
I
flipped
sh-
the
I sh- I don't know how to put
the
it
camera.
down.
There should be, look at your, well, I don't know, your screen probably looks a little different than mine, but my little button is in the bottom right.
Child, y'all are looking at the wall. Hold on. I don't put the
Dallas
filters
got a
in there.
filter.
This is insane. Hold on.
Hey T, my friend just came in here, my barber. Hey girl. Hey Ashley. Let me look at all these
Yeah,
people.
scroll through the comments and like check out and see what people are saying in there.
Hey guys. Hey Chan. Let's see. And this is the part, oddly, this is why I don't do live videos on Facebook when people can't get a sentence out because they're like, girl, because this, oh, hey, girl, how you doing? I hate it. I'm coming out. I'm sorry. I'm not watching your live ever again. I'll wait for the replay. So, but we had a moment there. Hey, y'all.
We did. I bet
Hey,
mine is
Johnny.
mine is actually at the top of my screen. I
Okay.
found it.
Okay. Listen, people from my side are in here. Hey, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm grateful.
these are
Very
your friends, and our church folk are in here too. I see
all right.
Channelie. I
Thanks.
see Cynthia.
Hey, Cynthia.
Let's see who I see. Who I see. I saw Andrea Jackson in here.
Okay. Hey, y'all.
Uh, so also Derek Lionel in here, who is a thespian extraordinaire.
I'm here for it. Please let me
He's
know when the next
great.
one is. Let me know.
Janice Thomas in here with the Empower Management Group. She has her own bottled water and she manages indie artists.
That's
She's
awesome.
great. She does work for me as well.
Good. Bottled
Uh,
water, that is such a good marketing thing, not just because it's cool and trendy, but it's essential. So that's dope. Like if you're in, I don't know, if you're in choral work, find a way to have like your own pitch pipeline. You know, like everybody's gonna need a pitch pipe.
This is what I'm saying, guys. Y'all can have the pitch pipe idea. Take that. Because I don't want to have nothing to do with no instrumentation. I'm over that
I
piece
mean,
right there.
it's you know, weird examples do come to mind, but I'm saying that's so good because if tomorrow we can't get any water and she's got a stock of water, her price
Yeah.
can go up because it's essential, and you're gonna remember me because my label was attached to something essential.
Yep.
So.
She has a stock of water. Corey Bell is in here. Dante Dunham is in here. Our brother Corey. Corey, I miss you so much. My mentee K is in here. I'm Tamika Bird. I hope she's still in here. I saw Charbay. Yeah, you got
Yeah, people came in and maybe left out, but everybody, thank you for being here.
Listen, I'm just grateful that people took the time to just stop on by.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here we go, Michelle. I'm Andrea. I really was gonna walk by this. But I see your comments here. So let's talk about it. So a couple of years ago, Andrea and I were down at the AFRAM, and they still have an AFRAM, and I am somewhat of a brand ambassador for Vocal Success Drink, right?
Right.
And I had some for an artist that was singing that day, but they wouldn't let me bring it in the park. So I had to call somebody who I knew was working logistics for them to come get it. By the time we left out of there, she was like, look, this time next year, this could be, you could supply this, your own vocal health drink, blah, blah, blah. I mean, a whole thing. It went as far as acquiring an investor. We went as far as having an actual tasting.
Like a focus.
It was a focus group.
That's dope.
To test different recipes that I came up with.
Right.
And so what I started doing was researching the beverage industry. It's a language that I just did not understand. It was totally different. And I was like, man, and quite honestly, at that time in my life, I was not in the mental space to even attempt to do something that just was out of my scope. And I walked away from that idea.
Okay.
I walked away from that idea.
Well, okay. So here's my response to if you're open to a response right through here. It doesn't mean that the opportunity is gone, because for you to actually capitalize on an opportunity, you need the mental state as well as the faculty or the ability to do it. So I'm very good at beating myself up. I'm an expert at picking myself apart because of a risk I didn't take. You were being a punk. Like, it's my inner narrative can be very negative if I don't check it.
Right.
So, and I don't know what it is in our community. We're always like, opportunities come and they'll never come again. Like, we're so fatal with it. But sometimes they do. You just don't know if that opportunity is something that's going to come around again. So I think if it's something that you still want, you don't have to sit and mourn something that you're not sure is dead.
Okay.
It could possibly happen again, maybe in another way, maybe with another investor, and that's a lesson learned. But it can't be something that destroys you. Like, every misstep can't destroy you. Or it can't make you feel like, oh, it's just gone. Another thing is, it's interesting that you said you were researching the beverage industry. That's not your industry.
Right.
Mountain Dew is a beverage, and that has nothing to do with.
It completely freaked me out. Completely freaked me out.
And it makes sense. Like, sometimes in pursuing things, we do what we think is our due diligence. I need to go and I need to research, and I would never speak against research, but you also have to figure out what it is that you want, what you're going for. You have to kind of determine your determination. Like, I'm going to push through this regardless of what I see, or that this is going to be mine. I just might have to learn a couple of things. And I think sometimes we don't stop for a few seconds before we get engaged. We get so excited and we get into the process and we don't pause to say, wait, what is it that I want? And am I sure that I'm going to, like, am I committed to this? And
Right.
again, it's a commitment daily. So I don't think that, like, when you were talking, I was not the least bit phased, like, dang, she missed out. The person could be watching this live and it's going to be up for 24 hours. So maybe they'll watch it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or somebody else will pick it up. But I don't think it's a lost opportunity.
Right.
You can go back at it with more focus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
time can be reached.
and
So,
as I talked about it, because this is how I do. As I talk about things, I think about things. I'm listening to you, and I'm thinking about things. I'm really like now I'm in a space where I could be open
mm-hmm.
to something
Mm-hmm.
along the lines of vocal health.
Mm-hmm.
I really can be, especially now. I'm a little more informed,
Yeah.
about what that looks like.
Why don't you look up holistic doctors? They already are on that, put some herbs together in a tincture and give it to people. But if they don't have, if they're out here selling throat coat, which they're going to have to pay a lot for and they probably don't make a lot of profit off of, you
Right.
might be able to get the brand together with that doctor and create a relationship between the three of you where
Okay.
you're now not just able to sell the product, but maybe you're doing vocal workshops. And that's not just for vocalists. This could, for anybody who's ill or who has had surgery, on their throat, things like that. If the doctor allows them, hey, come to my workshop. We're going to have some good natural beverages and talk about vocal health. Everybody has a voice,
Right.
not just singers. So,
Got you.
yeah.
Got you. Okay. That's good. We talked through that. Okay. Like my iPad is really trying to die on me.
It's
Hold on
showing
a
out.
second.
Oh, okay.
Well, I had a lesson before this, and yeah. Okay. So can we get you to stay up, darling? My stand comes tomorrow. Gosh.
Yeah. My stand was acting crazy today. Hi, Phil. My friend Phil is in here. Hey,
Uh,
y'all.
so who's that? Clipper Doll. Are you still here? Clipper Doll. If you are still here, let me get Janice's because she asked about.
That's my barber.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, her. You can follow her at uh, Be Empowered. BINPORE. Lord, that. Let me start over. I bought some Gucci glasses, and you would think I would have them on, right? At BEINPOWERED. Be Empowered. Yes. And her website is www.beinpowered.com. She's the person who has the water. So feel free to follow her. Hey, Naomi just came in here. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to hold this because
Okay.
she's sliding down on the floor right now.
Strengthen her wrist, Jesus.
But I am going to revisit that piece right there.
Yeah,
Wow.
for sure.
Okay. So let's see if anybody has any questions. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Um, and so Tiana, as far as entertainment law, because there are a lot of creatives in here,
Mm-hmm.
um, what services are you able to provide
Mm-hmm.
for them?
I'm able to provide contract review and negotiation. Those are two different services. I can do contract drafting, really anything pertaining to a contract for Maryland residents,
Okay.
um, for people across the globe, really, but particularly across the country. I can do trademark and copyright registrations for them and kind of advising on
Oh, we
how to
definitely
move
have to
forward in
talk.
that. um, so again, that's a national thing because at the federal level, I can do that for anybody. Um,
Okay.
so that's like one part of my business, which is fully the legal part. But I also have other clients that I consult in a non-legal way. And what we do is we clarify their vision. I have sessions with them either every week or every other week or kind of on demand where we
Okay.
talk about their brand. And it's not a branding meeting, but I think sometimes we really move forward to the branding specialist and we haven't identified who we are and the things that we
Okay.
actually want to accomplish. So
Okay.
I'm the person that will ask you the critical questions to see what it is that you're doing and why. And then we can create a strategy for moving forward and creating whatever life it is that you're trying to have.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That is really great. So, if anyone wanted to contact you
Mm-hmm.
for those services, how could they reach you?
They can email me at info@tianamann.com. My website is completely under construction right now, but email me and I will get, in touch with you gladly. So,
Okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can put this up here
yes.
and pin the comment. I
Hey,
did.
come on, features.
Yeah. This is so cool. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
I really enjoy talking to people. I recognize here's what I offer, and you can understand this as a CEO. I offer a safe space for people to say they don't know what the heck they're doing, and then we figure out how to do that because there's really
Right.
no judgment. I
Yeah.
mean, you could be 20 years into your vision and still not really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's okay because most CEOs they have their hands in 17 different things and you don't really get to check your vision and your heart and your company to see if they match. You're
Is
just
it
trying to
okay? Is it okay when your uh, focus or direction evolves?
absolutely. It has to evolve. Think about it. We're in a post-COVID we're in a COVID world. We're not post-COVID nothing.
We are
Um,
in
because I
it.
still have a mask in my
Yes.
purse.
Yes.
Um, but you have to evolve. I think this idea that a business is supposed to stay the same is something that will keep you stunted. Um,
Mm,
like look at the newspaper industry or magazines. People are not buying them and they are
right.
trying to stay alive, but they almost have to give away free product just to exist. And it's
Right.
not that they haven't evolved, but some of their evolution was too late and the internet was
Mm,
moving too quickly. Here's the thing: if you want to build wealth, your business it must evolve
mm,
because it's got to be earning something so that you can pass it to the next generation.
right.
And if you want to create something that will either make money and you can pass that money along to the next generation,
Hmm.
or you want to actually pass the business itself, like the activity, onto someone, it's got to be able to live in another generation.
Right.
So it's okay if it evolves from, I don't know, I can't even really think of a good example, but the bottom line is your vision can absolutely evolve. There's
Okay.
nothing wrong with that. And there's always a place for things. And sometimes it's just separate. You can have multiple visions.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think about the jack of all trades, master of none?
I'm going to
So,
go back to saying read your room
okay. This is
because
why I asked that question. I asked that question because we're often encouraged
Mhm.
to do multiple things at the
Yeah.
same time to stay busy. I used to do that. Then I became a believer of one focus,
Hmm.
kind of just zero in on one thing
Right.
so that one thing gets you 100%
Hmm.
instead of five things getting 20%,
Right.
that type of thing. What do you think about that?
I think, again, it's a read your room. And the room in this situation is your industry. If you are a surgeon, you need to know how to do a certain type of surgery that makes
Okay.
sense. If you are a television producer, you do need to know how to multitask well because
Mhm.
while you are going on air, there are graphics that are coming up. Somebody's in your ear. The technical director is like, camera 3 is out. So there's a value to multitasking. I think I listened to this one song years ago, and they were saying multitasking is a myth. I think that's my foundational one, is that you can think you're multitasking, but something typically is going to fall. Now, with
Right.
all of that said, there will be instances where you have to rise to the occasion and do multiple things. But I think
Mhm.
you have to know what your industry is demanding, and you have to
Mm.
ask yourself, what do I want? Do I want to be the girl who is the opera specialist and can hit all the notes and do
Mhm.
the breathing the right way? Or do I want to be a praise and worship leader and growl a little bit? And
That's a real question.
but those and it needs an answer. It's not rhetorical. Like, it's not
Yeah.
literally, you need to write this down. And having
Yeah.
those hard conversations with yourself and figuring out what your industry is can determine what you need to do. Um,
Yeah.
in the situation. And I think what we
Right.
find is that most situations will help us to determine what's needed. Do you need the
Mhm.
Jane of all trades right now? And quite frankly, all trades is like two. It's not 99 things out here.
It's true. It's just true.
It's two. It's two.
All trades is two.
It's all of two. So I think
All of two.
we have to stop. We need to filter things before we let them get on the inside. Like, you need a foyer in your mind where things can hang out.
You need a narthex in
You
your
need
mind.
a vestibule, if you will. Hang your coat up. We gonna filter you through. You need, like, you got to do orientation to get into my mind. And I need your ticket, please. Thank you.
I'm
So
gonna I'm gonna keep that so when I meet these men that
yeah,
just don't
just put it in the
yeah.
foyer for a second before it becomes something you have to
Orientation.
do. Yes.
Orientation.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You got to filter stuff. Everything can't activate action for you. You got to figure out where it's coming from and figure out how
Yes.
to process it, if at all.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my
That,
answer.
that's so good to me. It just made me lose my thought. Lord Jesus, that is so good. You need a vestibule in your
Yeah.
mind.
Sit
A
down.
place where it could just hang out.
Sit on the shoe bench. Take your
And
shoes off.
then we're gonna have orientation before
Absolutely.
you're allowed to walk in here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that right there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is cool. Like, my iPad is really good about such a go. And Tiana and I really could sit and go all day talking
We
about
could.
anything. But I am grateful that you have given me this amount of time because I know you are super busy. What's funny is when we text, I never get bothered that you don't text me right back. She's
I
gonna get to it
appreciate that.
when she
I
gets to
appreciate
shit.
that. Thank you. That's a space
Because
that I'm growing in, because I don't
you
always
always
get to get back to all the messages, and
right. You
I just
always respond.
thank
You
you.
do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm trying to get better, because the thing is this, I started off as a better texter, but then I was like, I grew up and there was stuff to do. And I'm like, there are so many texts I've been like, I'm sorry, I thought I sent this. And someone might say, like, let's say that you confirm we're going to do lunch at 1 o'clock. I will immediately put it in my calendar, and I might be like, I didn't tell her that at one
Right.
o'clock, like that worked for me. So I'm trying to do
Right.
better.
You're doing great. It's fine.
Thank you. Thank you. But I also, in exchange, I don't trip when people don't get back to me. Like, it's 2020. Everybody has like 59 things that they're really accountable for and 200 that they think they have to do. So everybody,
Yeah.
but
There are only like two people that if I don't get a response from, I'm like, what are you doing? One of them
yeah,
is my son. Like, because you just need to be at my beck and call. He's almost
understood.
30 and I'm still acting this way.
Hmm.
It's crazy. But,
No,
you
I
know,
get it. If my mom doesn't hear from me, and she's called and she's texted and she's out of town, my mom and dad are out of town. They're just like,
right.
I mean, are you in a ditch? Just send up a signal, and I understand it. So, I do what I can. I'm gonna call her after I get off of here.
You better call
I
her
will. We'll
just
all be
because.
here.
Thank you so much, Tiana, for giving me your time. And I appreciate all of the people. Let me tell you something. What I like about IG Live
Hmm.
is that when your numbers you don't have to have high. I'm not impressed with high numbers,
Right.
but a consistent number is what I like. I
Right.
like for people to stay in the room. And that tells me that I'm doing something worth
Yeah.
listening to.
This is good. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here with you. I'm grateful for a spot at your table. And for you all that are in here, I'm not sure if you fully know the whole story of I Breathe Melody, but I remember I Breathe Melody as like, I mean, a zygote, a little
Yes.
concept, like Ruby Tuesdays on Lock Raven. Okay?
Yes.
A concept.
Oh my
And you
God.
made it. Like, this is every time I see things that you're doing, even if I don't get to comment on it directly, I have these, they're not flashbacks, but maybe they are, of just like, man, she did it. I've said that about you more than once because, and I know that you've pushed through. I know that there may not have been
Yeah.
space for who you were because there wasn't anybody like you. And there
Right.
probably won't be many like you.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that you stuck to it. And this was years ago. I mean, but it was
Yeah. We're
such a
talking
real thing.
2014.
Yeah.
2014, because I actually lost my 20-year career job 2 days before my first event.
Yeah. So this is like y'all see a hashtag or you see a logo, and this really is a combination of persistence and gumption.
Yes.
That's all it is. Like in the hand of
Yes.
the Lord.
Yes.
That's the fullness of this. So it's amazing to see that you've gone from a concept to, you know, a service provider and really a space maker in the industry and this experience upgrader, you know, all these different things. And I was
I
trying to
like
figure
all
out
of
what,
these words.
but I do like, I think that you refine the creative experience because creatives have been relegated to being broke, being talented but unskilled, being, you know, exposed but don't know how to act, like those negative things that sometimes are associated with great talent.
Yes,
And you have
those
a
are my
conviction,
targets.
right? You have a
Yeah.
conviction to not let that be. I think
Yeah.
that is an incredible thing, particularly in this type of industry where care is not always included. It's not a part of the package. So, I mean, somebody's mouth has to be.
You get me. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, absolutely. So y'all stick with Leslie because I
Please.
think, yeah, space makers are important. And for somebody to be talented and skilled, that's a great thing to be able to
Yeah.
provide people the opportunity to exercise their gift and to refine it,
Right.
to become better professionals so that you do get exposure, so that you do get opportunities and things like that.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Oh, thank you for believing in me. That means everything.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up, you guys. I have pinned her information here. Tiana Mann Esquire. She gave a plethora of things. If you just joined us, go back and watch the replay. I'm gonna post it through IGTV. But her contact information is info@tianamann.com.
Yep. I
Thank
look forward to hearing from
you.
anybody. It would be great.
Thank you. And as soon as outside opens up, we're going for crab cakes, okay?
Yes. 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 Let's go. We sitting outside and everything. Like we're gonna be
Everything.
outside. I am prepared for ignorance, corporate ignorance, okay? Ready.
I'll let
Ready.
you have that. I'm eating my crab cakes. I'm
We can
doing
do it all. Now that's where I'm gonna be Jane of all trades. We're gonna do it all.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your
Absolutely.
evening.
Thank you. You too. See you guys later. Thanks
Thank
for
you
coming.
guys so much. Bye-bye.
See ya.